Well, good morning, and thank you for the invitation to be with you today. Some of you may remember me. I previously served here in Egypt from 2003 to 2006, and I was extremely pleased when USAID asked me to return, and particularly at this moment in Egypt's history. Then as now, I am an unabashed optimist regarding Egypt's long-term potential in the economic sphere. I don't need to list for you all of the advantages that Egypt enjoys, advantages that are not present in most of the other countries where USAID works. But I will mention a few. The large internal market here, proximity to important international markets, and the resource base supporting tourism, agriculture, and other key sectors. The interest we all share is how Egypt's public and private sectors can pursue the steps to realize this potential. You may recall that Ambassador Patterson cited in an address here at AmCham some time ago the 2011 Citigroup study showing that Egypt could be the 10th largest global economy by the year 2050. I personally am a big fan of that research because it so clearly identifies what the end game or the benefit will be of taking the tough choices that are needed today. Choices that include opening up Egypt's markets both domestically and internationally, having straightforward and transparent rules for all investors, and clearly defining the role of government in the economy. The end game is this. Egyptians today have it in their power to deliver to your children and grandchildren a nation that could be a world economic leader. Imagine what that would mean. Certain choices taken now and in the near future could lead to a more prosperous Egypt with a strong role in the global economy. And at home, a nation enjoying much reduced indices of poverty, illiteracy, and disease. Other choices, however, could take the economy and nation into an entirely different, less favorable direction. That said, I also share the concerns of everyone in the room today about current short-term worrisome trends in Egypt's economy. Long-standing policies have conspired with a difficult political transition to produce foreign exchange shortages, an unsustainable budget deficit, and significant distortions in the economy. For many months, these problems were not very visible, as Egypt had the luxury to hold them at bay by expending its foreign reserves. Today, however, the adverse impacts are tangible, growing, and of great concern. Egyptians are seeing fuel shortages and deepening constraints to the importation of goods and supplies, and growing recourse to extra-legal markets for foreign exchange and scarce commodities. Growth estimates have been cut. Inflation, particularly for food items, has accelerated and is affecting Egypt's most vulnerable. Some business leaders we speak to are worried about how they can keep their factories open when they cannot get basic inputs. These concerns are serious ones and will require strong and likely unpopular medicine. The current dislocations in the economy are hopefully persuasive to policymakers and the public at large that the costs of delaying needed actions are high and growing. One of the key components that could contribute to needed stability is for Egypt to finalize a credible agreement with the IMF, which will be a clear statement that Egypt is committed to reforming its economy. The agreement will not only open up IMF funds, but will catalyze funding from other sources, lenders, portfolio investors, and eventually generate both domestic and foreign investment. It will project a strong statement to the domestic and international business community that Egypt is choosing the path of growth and broadly shared economic opportunity. Political reconciliation and inclusiveness, reform of the security sector, and transparent financial and government policies are needed as well to sustain a vibrant economy.